I'm not talking about it. I had a voice last night, but I blamed Bobby Rosenberg. So the big question on everyone's mind was how many people are here? Who's coming? Tonight, we have in the house 157 people. We have 138 alumni and 19 guests. So welcome everybody. Our breakdown, for those of you who are counting, we have 67 guys and 71 females. So the Boardman Merle breakdown, for those of you who still count, 58 Boardman, 80 Merle.
Michelle, kiss the microphone.
We also have two distinguished guests in the audience. Mr. Andy Morris and Mr. Bob Moltisanti. Thank you for coming. Speaking of thank yous, there are a couple of people who we need to thank tonight. This was really a group effort. A lot of you
You're a young friend.
Through my endless posts on Facebook. I appreciate that. We need to first thank our DJ for tonight, our photographer, Henry, and just so you all know, the photograph, we will be sending a link so everyone will have a photograph at no extra charge. And we really want to thank Robert Ian Catering for this wonderful room and cocktail hour. Thank you so much. Lauren and I came here yesterday and I walked in the room and I immediately started crying. So thank you.
Where did Michael go?
There are a couple of individuals here that I'd like to thank. The first person I did not know in high school. Well, I was a cheerleader, so was she. She is our hometown hero, someone who I got to meet tonight, and I want to thank her for all her positivity throughout the planet. So Kathy Vassatoro, you please come up.
Nobody's sitting by you.
Kathy, come on up. Okay, the next person I want to thank, I've kicked this whole thing off, putting up the Facebook page and saying, hey, it's 30 years next year, who wants to help? I don't know if I did the right thing, but I raised my hand. So I want to thank Jill Simpson for putting together the Facebook page. Come on up, Jill. Okay. The next two people who volunteered their time and effort, and you'll see the fruits of their labor later as we play a beautiful montage. So thank you, Barbara Kessel and Jill Januszewski.
Do what?
take pictures of
All these Arab people.
work and stuff? I mean,
I'm not the photographer. I'm just the husband.
We'll
It is
switch
insane. Is there any
gears,
way?
and we will
Get the Chinese guy.
the lone man of the group who put up with
The
Laura and I PMSing for a year. He put together a website and kept track of all the attendees and all our neuroses. Thank you so much to Steve Garapu. The next person kept our books straight. Our tax accountant. She held all the banking and thanked everybody after they paid. Thanks to Wonder Woman, who lived through 2 tax seasons while doing this. Thanks, Gwen Frank. The next person, the last person that I'm going to thank tonight, is my partner in crime. 2 type A personalities working on one reunion is a little frightening. But over a year of planning and a rekindled friendship, thank you, Laura Newsom.
And now it's my turn to thank. She's lean, she's mean, she is a planning machine. She is obsessive but not compulsive. So a big round of applause, the one, the only, the biggest, the most consummate cheerleader Oceanside High School has ever had, Michelle Laprie-Tanios.
Can you call in everybody from outside? Because we have a very special presentation. Everybody in the bar area, please come in. So tonight is a night of celebration, of reuniting with old friends and sharing memories. There are some, however, who are not here with us, but who perhaps are sharing this moment from above. I'm going to try to do this without crying. You noticed in your program that we have lost some classmates. 17 of our classmates have passed over the last 30 years. You may have known some of them, you may have known none of them, but they were our classmates and walked the halls of Oceanside High School just like us. So let us pause for a moment, turn your attention to the 2 screens up front as we pay tribute to our 17 classmates who have passed. And just in case, I have a box of tissues and you'll need it. Okay, we have another part of our presentation. So I'd like to call up Mike Jennings.
First, I want to say thanks for coming to my bar mitzvah tonight. Okay. Wow, 30 years. Good to see everyone. I can't read with these on, sorry. Before moving on to the reason I'm standing in front of you tonight, everyone really needs to give a big round of applause to the people who worked tonight to make tonight a big success. Michelle, Laura, Gwen, and others. Without them, we wouldn't be here with cocktails in hand, reliving our glory days. Thank you, ladies. I was asked to speak on behalf of one of the most beloved teachers at Oceanside High School, Mr. Andy Morris. I didn't hesitate to jump at the chance to honor one of my favorite teachers. Mr. Morris, I still can't call him Andy after all these years. He's a graduate of Memphis High School, where he excelled in both baseball and soccer. He continued his education at Hofstra University. Mr. Morris started teaching at OHS in the fall of 1982 as head of student activities. Being not much older than us, a quick bond was formed. His open door policy made it easy for us to get to know him as well he to know us. He saw a lot of energy in us and channeled it into good use. How about those water buffaloes? All I could say was poor Miss Dunwoody, not a minute's peace in that office. Those of you who spent time in that office will be aware of the curse chart. You cursed, you paid. I think by the time we graduated, there was enough money for Mr. Morris to build an extension to his house. Not only was Mr. Morris our teacher, he was our friend, our mentor. He was easy to talk to. In regards to anything, school, sports, life, girls, he was always there for you. Mr. Morris kept us interested there. Sorry. I haven't even been drinking yet, that's too funny. Mr. Morris kept us interested. There was much more going on than learning. We were having fun. I can't vouch for everyone, but I definitely was. I'll be quick, I swear. I want to stop partying soon.
You're doing great.
I'd like to give you what I call Mr. Morris stats. Teacher at Oceanside High School for 31 years. New York State Baseball Coach of the Year in the year 2000. Only coach in Oceanside history to win a state championship. Coached the county championship baseball teams in 2000, 2001, and 2004. Was a state runner-up also in 2004. Named Division I Coach of the Year 4 times. Coached 8 county championship teams in gymnastics. Has been named Oceanside Kiwanis Club's Teacher of the Year. Has had 2 yearbooks dedicated to him. Funny, I thought you had to be dead to have something dedicated to you. Was freshman football coach for 10 years. Is a social studies teacher. Is the go-to guy wherever fundraising has to be done. Ran the school's football pool for 29 years and runs the high school staff CD club. With Julie and Abby, created the Soul Shine Fund at OHS, which raises money to help any high school staff member member indeed. He's a loving husband to wife Kelly, a stepdad to Alex, did the football power ratings for National County for 25 years, announced many a basketball and football game, and again was most recently honored by the Kiwanis Club this past Thursday for services to Oceanside in the aftermath of Superstorm Sandy, which so many of our own were affected.
She's good at that.
Even though he graduated from Memphis High as a pirate, his blood will always bleed blue and white as an Oceanside sailor. It has been an honor and a privilege to stand before you all tonight to toast my favorite teacher, the heart and soul of Oceanside High School for the past 3 decades, Mr. Merritt, Mr. Andy Morris. Thank you. Mr. Morris, come on up. This is a little present from the class of 83 to you. A little card.
Real quickly, pay no attention to the guy on the screen. He doesn't exist anymore. Very quickly, I want to just thank you so much. In the summer of 1982, I got a letter from Baldwin High School that said I wasn't good enough to teach social studies there. 2 weeks later, I got an offer to be the student activities director at Oceanside High School. I still have that rejection letter because it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. That year altered my life, and tonight I've heard some wonderful things about what we had that year, whether you were in my office or not, or on that cannonball run or not, or in the stands in section 308 or not. It was a wonderful, wonderful year, and I hope it was as good for you as it was for me, because it was life-altering. The first person I met in Oceanside High School that day I walked in was Bob Moltisanti, and he's still my friend 32 years later. I want to thank him. The people who hired me, believe it or not, are here tonight. Gina Kwok, Josh Cropper, Robin Schoenhaus. I mean, you guys hired me, and I meant the world. So I was ready to retire this year because I just was tired. Then I remembered how much I love this. So I want to thank you for inviting me here, and thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be in Oceanside for 32 years. It's been wonderful, and you started it. Thank you so much.
Okay, stay right here, Mr. Morris. We have one more little surprise. I had to write my notes. It's hard to believe it's been a year since Superstorm Sandy. We're all here as part of our celebration. Many of us were affected by it. And so we're glad everybody could be here and celebrate. You helped in the recovery. You helped establish the high school as ground zero. But you've also been ground zero for school spirit. And in honor of your 30 years at Oceanside High School, we would like to present you with a $500 donation to the school from our class. Give it up for Mr. Morris. the reunion. We're all glad you can be here. And then we're going to party like it's 1983.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, give them a big round of applause for their celebration. Here we go. Once again, first course is now being served. Once again, first course is being served. Dance floor is now open.
How great was high school? How great was high school?